Royalty includes the Prince, Mr. John Gay, and the Princess, Miss Amy Coleman. The 2004 Homecoming Queen, Miss Amy Wright, and Homecoming King, Mr. Chris Appleton. The 2004 Homecoming Royalty.
We're back with Norm Sixta, who is a 1954 graduate of Willmar Senior High School. And we welcome you, Norm, and congratulate you on being a Hall of Fame recipient in 2004.
Well, thank you very much. I consider it a very, very important achievement and honor to have been invited into this Hall of Fame.
Well, we think it is just great that we have a Hall of Fame organization now that has been developed through our Cardinal Pride. We think it's so important for all of our young people today to understand the legacy of success and greatness that has gone before them throughout the Willmar Public Schools. So over the last several years that we've had a Hall of Fame, we just really think that it serves a wonderful purpose in congratulating and honoring excellence, but also in acquainting our young people today with all of the great things that have happened over the years in their school system. You obviously were very, very involved in several sports, football, wrestling, and track, I believe. Tell us a little bit about what got you to be so involved and so proficient in 3 sports.
Well, how did I get involved in 3 sports? I think that when I was moved here from Slayton, Minnesota, I came my sophomore year, and coaches asked me to participate, get involved, and I enjoy sports. I enjoy the team aspects, and that's how I got involved.
Well, let's talk about football first. As you think back on those years, what would be one highlight that just stands out in your mind and in your memories?
Well, I can tell you one that always comes to my mind. Starch Hubbard was a very excellent halfback, and he started at the 10-yard line, and I chased him down on the 10-yard line of the other end of the field. And I remember that vividly because I was a lineman. He was a halfback, and that was kind of an exciting time.
And how about from a wrestling standpoint? Any highlights that really stand out or real significant moments in your wrestling career?
Well, I suppose the one time that we were wrestling, I believe it was Alexander at that time, and I was in heavyweight, and I pinned the opponent in the first eight seconds.
Well, I would say that's quite an accomplishment. And I suppose throughout life, if you've had any moments when you're reflecting on sort of those successes and invigorating times in your life, that does have to surface once in a while.
Sure. It does. And, when you're away from school, high school, for 50 years, there's a lot of years you haven't given much thought to your college or your high school days. And when I got the letter inviting me to the Hall of Fame, all those flashbacks started coming back to me. That was interesting.
It's really a fun trip down memory lane, so to speak. I've talked to other people about that. And I find myself, as I get older, I spend maybe more time reflecting on the good old days from many years ago. So I'm identifying with what it is that you're saying. How about from a track standpoint? What events in track were you participating in?
In high school track, I threw the shot put and threw the discus, and I also ran the 440 relay. And when you're in field events like shot put, discus, you spend a lot of time watching the rest of the players out there running. But that was a highlight. And I did go to state in both shot put and discus.
So Norm, after a very successful career here at Willmar Senior High School, you went on to play for the Minnesota Gophers. Tell our audience a little bit about that experience.
Well, it was a great experience. You know, I was going to be a farm boy and grow up and run a farm. And because I had the opportunity to play football at the University of Minnesota, I got an education, which was wonderful. And my accomplishments at the University of Minnesota, I did make All-American second team, both on offense and defense. And I was later drafted to the New York Giants, but did not report for practice because I had 2 serious knee injuries in college. And I decided, you know, I like walking. So I didn't report.
Well, certainly I can understand that. When you hear about some of these injuries that people sustain that can be very life-altering, it probably is very wise to think twice about a person's condition before you pursue that next dream. But I do want to say, when I go to that Gopher, Iowa game on November 13th this year, I'll be thinking about you, Norm, as a Gopher player, now that I have met a number of years after the fact, and as I look at you, I can tell that that was a very positive experience for you. When you think back on all of your athletic success, whether it's in high school or in college, what kind of a message do you have for young people today about the value of participating in these sports and activities?
I think all sports at any level help develop the character of people and the winning atmosphere and the winning spirit. And that's what life is all about, is setting your goals and then winning those goals. And athletes does a great job of preparing young people today and in the past.
So obviously you feel that there were many lifelong benefits from the experiences. Where did life take you after you left the University of Minnesota?
Well, let's start at the University of Minnesota. I found my wife, who I'm still married to 47 years, and have 5 children and 6 grandchildren and a whole bunch of spouses. And I think that experience of developing a family from the wife that we and myself has been very rewarding to us. In terms of career, I went with Allied Mills, which was a livestock feed company. And then the company was bought out by Continental Grain. And I went up through the ranks of salesman up to area sales manager with Continental Grain. We've been fortunate to live in many places in the United States. I used to take care of the East Coast, the western section of the Midwest, and we've fortunately developed friends in every place we lived.
Well, in visiting with you, I can see why that would be the case. You're just a very personable individual, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you. I'm so impressed that you have your Cardinal red on today as we're getting ready for our big homecoming game. And once again, Norm, I want to congratulate you on being one of those very special people honored in the Willmar Public Schools. So thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. It truly is an honor.